We're fucking doing it, man.
Doing it. Wow.
Fucking live.
Teddy, I got an incredible cover for you
Ooh.
during the show. My What's Sexy. It's a
Whoa, way to blow
Norwegian
it.
YouTube metal star covering DMX, and it's the most
Is it Party
phenomenal
Up?
thing I've ever heard in my life.
Should be live.
No, it's going to give it to you.
Well, who's running this train? Lord knows it's not Ashtray.
We're fucking live.
I'm
live,
shitting in the
dude.
caboose.
God damn,
All right.
Ashtray. We're live.
Jesus. All right.
Ashtray,
this-
we're fucking live.
Episode
I
of the
know.
Red Eye Report, we talk engineering disasters. What happens when your engineers come in with a bad hangover? Fucking
Fucking
Titanic.
shitty engineers.
With me this evening is Ashtray. He's a train wreck of a human being held together by booze, cocaine, and shrooms. Engineering at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. It's a fucking fine-tuned machine.
Drug-addled. I don't know where you're going
What
with
is
this.
what
but
is
yes.
going on here?
Also with me this week is Mistic. He's a jumbled jack-off of a disaster. Finally, we have Teddy. He's the biggest disaster of an Asian man you'll ever meet. Oh. And
I don't even know what that means, but it's funny.
I don't
to me.
know. It's not funny at all. I don't know what's going on here.
You haven't
What
been
is-
in the
it
fucking
is-
chat, Teddy. You missed that joke.
It's because I don't want to chat with you all anymore. It gets scary sometimes. I
Piece
feel
of shit.
threatened and oppressed.
All right, well, we're
Piece
already
of
off to a
shit.
fucking
Shit.
train
Good
wreck
start.
here. So, engineering disasters, we have the Surfside condo disaster that they're currently dealing
Oh, you
with.
mean that controlled blast assassination?
Oh, controlled blast assassination? Is that the
That's what it was.
QAnon?
That's what it was. Yeah, don't give me that.
Is that what
was
this- is that what-
fucking-
Is that what they're saying?
Oh, they're
No.
starting to have theories. All
kidding.
kinds of fucking...
Who's having theories?
Oh, okay.
I'm sure
Oh,
somebody does.
the
I'm sure
internet
there's
people?
fucking- yeah,
There's
the
actually a headline.
weird
that,
internet troll people.
I mean,
That
people
they're-
believe. That's what I thought. I thought what Mystic said was like highly plausible because people believe crazy shit like that.
Well, they're
White
saying
people might have believe crazy
there's
shit
actual news stories, fact-checking stories saying that no, John McAfee did not have a secret server room in that condo.
What?
It's like, yep.
Oh.
They're like, there's photos that show that John McAfee owned a condo in that complex or whatever, and it's just like, the fuck no, he wouldn't. It sounds like it was a shithole condo. It was made in 81, and
Yeah.
it had like $15 million of serious renovations needed
Right,
done.
right. And they were starting work on those renovations. So right now there is a 12-story residential building. It collapsed out of nowhere. They're saying 18 people have been confirmed dead, while 145 others remain unaccounted for, which is terrible because it's just a fucking pile of rubble. I mean, I don't think there's really any
Concrete and
yeah.
Yeah, they're not alive.
Right.
oh man, there's weird shit though, because there's a family. Well, for one, just today they were saying on the radio they could hear a woman's voice. And
Really?
they were working. Yes, they could hear for like a number of hours. They could hear this woman's voice somewhere, and they were working to get to her. But the whole pile started shifting to where it was like unsafe for everyone, and they had to call off the search for a couple of hours till they felt it was safe to try again. And they haven't heard her voice again yet.
That's got to be rough to be one of those.
I know.
Those
To be a
rescue
worker there,
workers.
knowing there's someone right there, and you want to try your
Right.
best to
Right.
get them, but
Yeah, and I saw something too where a guy, like, it's so unstable that a guy was working and he fell like 25 feet through like a hole in the structure. And the mayor, he was saying that right now they're having in talks where they're going to just demo the entire building because it's going to be safer to just bring the entire thing down.
Oh, you mean the rest of it?
Yeah, bring the rest of it down so that they can do the search without having to worry about other structural things.
Yeah, they're saying, I guess they call them widow makers, which are all the like think of the big AC units they put on top of those buildings. The ones that are still on top of the edge of that roof where the remaining buildings standing, just hanging there. So there's like a, certain like 25-foot zone that they just can't search because of that heavy shit hanging above their heads.
Right. So they actually had some consultants come in, I think it was in 2018. So there was a statement by this Morobito Consultants. And
Morobito's like, you got to get that shit fixed.
Right. They were like, you got to. So they came in 2018. And so it was a 40-year recertification of the condo building as required by Miami-Dade County. And so they're a structural engineering firm. And they completed their inspection, detailing their findings at the time. They said that the costs, among other things, our report detailed significant cracks and breaks in concrete, which required repairs to ensure the safety of the residents and the public. And they actually engaged with the firm again in June 2020 to prepare for the renovations. And they were starting to do that when this shit went down.
Oh yeah, but they didn't even get to even start working on the cracks. It was kind of like still in the early phase. I was reading an article about how a lot of this was dragged on. They kind of got an early start knowing that they were going to have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But it was dragged out over 3 years.
Right.
Where there was even a period where 7 of the 9 condo board members resigned.
Really?
Out of frustration, because I guess there was a lot of squabbling, bickering about the cost, and a lot of the residents being like, it's going to basically double our maintenance fees, which we can't afford that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it kind of, they drug their heels on it, and then because they drug their heels on it, it went from originally a $9 million estimate to about a $15 million estimate. It was just based on time and price increases.
Well, this got me thinking about other engineering disasters that had happened. Some of these I had heard of, and others I hadn't. So, as you do, I pulled up some fucking live science articles and top 10 lists, and I'm just going to read them almost verbatim as I go through here because I'm a lazy fuck.
Fucking plagiarist. That's what you are.
All right.
Dirty goddamn plagiarist.
So fucking Live Science. This is from Live Science. See, I'm citing.
Wait. Moment of inhalant.
Oh yeah, that's right. I can't do that.
Why?
I don't have.
Oh, he's at the community center.
Yeah, I'm at the community center. Maybe I could ask some of these kids around here if they've had any fucking weed.
Oh, you're on the porch. I see in your main feed.
Yeah. I'm in the porch. On the porch. I've been hitting that CBD though. The gummies.
Shit?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's different.
I haven't tried it.
More of a body buzz, more of a indica kind of feel.
Yeah. Okay, so
I don't need enough of that.
While you deadbeats are getting high on your drugs.
Yep.
Have you heard
legal drugs?
Making poor life choices.
Legal drugs.
Have you guys heard of the Hyatt Regency walkway collapse?
Oh yeah, this one's brutal.
I have not.
So I had never heard of this before. I'm gonna bring this up. Just a picture.
Oh. What was the body count
of this? Okay, so July 1st, 1980, the newly constructed Hyatt Regency Hotel in Kansas City, Missouri, opened to the public. And it featured several suspended walkways crossing its multi-story atrium. So preliminary plans called for the fourth floor walkway to hang from the ceiling connected by steel rods. So in that design, the rods would barely hold the weight of the walkway itself and would not have passed local building codes. Those supports were included in the final construction, and to make matters worse, the second floor walkway was suspended from the fourth floor walkway directly above it. So not only was it already in a precarious situation, but let's hang some more shit from it.
Yeah, they were essentially just like straight kind of, that modernist design in the 80s walkway with these kind of thin rods holding the weight of it.
So July 17th, 1981, crowded for a dance. The linked walkways crashed to the dance floor.
Party.
Yeah.
There's people dancing on the walkway.
Yeah. Like,
hey, celebrate good times. Come on.
114 people were killed and injuring 200 others. The structural engineer blamed it on a communication breakdown. That's a pretty big fucking breakdown of communication.
Yeah, well, if I remember right, it was some sort of they did it like a workaround. Like their original idea of how to support the weight didn't. It's kind of like, oh well, we can just like overlap these beams rather than having to make them like one solid beam or something like that, and that severely jeopardized the weight bearing capacity.
We have the
fucking sandwich those poor bastards.
The Johnstown, Pennsylvania flood.
Damn.
Next one on our list here. May 31st, 1889. The South Fork Dam broke, unleashing 20 million tons of water from the artificial lake.
What year was this again?
1889.
1889.
So the city of Johnstown, Pennsylvania was 14 miles. 14 miles down the river. And in total, the flood killed 2,209 people.
Damn.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's like almost a 9/11.
Right?
Fucking Al Qaeda probably did it.
Get this, though. This is fucking ridiculous. So the dam was owned by the South Fork Fishing and Hunting Club, which counted many of Pittsburgh's financial elite among its members. In the aftermath, the tragedy was publicly blamed on the club's failure to properly maintain the dam, but courts maintained it was an act of God.
So basically, a bunch of rich people got off for killing a bunch of poor people.
Yep.
Just like Bill Cosby.
Yeah, right?
Hey, that was a gift from God, you son of a bitch.
He, he's no longer senile anymore. It's amazing what being getting off will do.
All right.
Clarity.
Space Shuttle Challenger.
Ooh.
Were you guys watching this live when it happened?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah,
this
I
as a
was.
kid, yeah.
That's the thing is I can't. This was 86, so 86. I would have been. I mean, I was old enough to watch it, but I can't remember. I would have been 3.
When were you born? 3, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
I was 6. I remember watching it in like first grade.
In first grade. Do you remember if your teacher like freaked the fuck out when it happened?
Shut the TV
off. Yeah, instantly. Like one of them ran over to the TV and was like, "All right, we're gonna stop that." Because I remember my mom, like, I forgot, like, she didn't pack a lunch for me, and she brought me some, like, brought my lunch. So like we were like eating when we were watching it, like it was our lunchtime, and I distinctly remember watching this thing blow up on television. On a little fucking ass box TV in the front of our class.
Right. And as a
Scarred
6-year-old to try to comprehend like
millions of 6 and 7-year-olds throughout the fucking world.
Oh yeah, because all school kids were watching it.
Right.
Yep.
There was a fucking teacher.
This is the first time the teacher. She's a female. Boom.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah.
It's like, oh man, think of how many kids were forever scarred. And not going to be an astronaut.
Bitch. Certainly are.
Right. So 7 crew members aboard Challenger were killed. They investigated it and determined that the O-rings used in a joint seal on the rockets were inappropriate for the ambient temperature at the time of launch. In the cold, the rings reacted differently to the compressive forces of liftoff. The commission found that some engineers were aware of the issue and had advised against launches in ambient air temperatures below 53 degrees Fahrenheit. So, whoops.
Yeah, basically let the O-ring slip out, and so like squeak out a little rocket fuel out the side of the engine.
So that's my problem with sci-fi nowadays. It's like everybody just like like you watch Star Trek or something. They're just pulling these fucking things out of their ass. Motherfucker, that shit is so complicated.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah,
that,
you know, like
give me
that wrench.
There was
go
a
down
fucking
there.
exactly. Yeah, there was a tiny
no
little
more air
O-ring.
leaks.
Right.
There was a tiny little malfunction in a fucking air O-ring because they didn't launch at the right temperature. Are you fucking kidding?
Right.
That's how delicate that system
out
is.
Out of the millions of different parts that are
all the different
you know,
parts and factors that could go.
Yeah.
That are
wrong.
all custom hand built.
Right. Now, let's take let's say automobiles. And an automobile back in the day, like the early days of the automobile, or maybe even like a steam engine, like a train. Do you think that back then they thought of those things almost in terms of complexity, like we view spaceships now and rockets now?
Automobiles, maybe, yeah.
Well, and I guess these steam engines were
steam engines
blew
up.
Same way because they're pretty simple.
But
that was also the best way to get power back in the day.
Oh yeah,
so it was kind of like the height.
It
was the height of technology. Not many people understand.
It didn't need or require the kind of precision that the rocket ship is. There's a recent book
that train's not gonna blow up if you fucking put too much.
Where they
fucking train will blow up.
Steam engines blow up.
If you're Marty McFly, it will.
Yep.
Doc.
There's a recent book that came out in the space shuttle where the astronauts were, like they were already inside this own kind. It was like it was their own re-entry capsule itself. So
they were in their own coffin, their own ready-made.
They were in their own coffin, and when the boosters exploded, it basically shot their what do you call it?
Yeah, they were alive.
Yep, and for a 2-minute death spiral. And I think they said, was it Christy or Kristen McAuliffe, the teacher, her and 2 or 3 of the other astronauts were in a lower, the lower level, because they were stacked, I guess, and only the astronauts in the upper level had any window ports to see outside. And so the people down below had just all they knew is, oh shit.
What's going on, Chuck?
And they said when they recovered it, they switched for auxiliary oxygen, and basically there's nothing he could do, but there was indications that the astronauts were awake, throwing switches, trying to do something, and then till they hit the ocean that hard.
That's fucked.
I know.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
I can't remember.
We're black.
Thanks for ruining my night.
I think they I think they also did
a. My night. I'm not getting late after hearing that shit. Ashtray's dramatic telling of how they died after
who's running this show, by the way?
Oh, they had to.
Ashtray's got info on all this shit.
I mean, really, it's just kind of.
Well, I just also read into these stories like a morbid person would. So, but yeah, they actually burned. They cremated all of their remains, and because they didn't. I think if I remember right, they were buried in a undisclosed location because they didn't want the throngs of people showing up.
For what?
For Kristen McAuliffe.
Why?
Think of why? Because all those kids who saw this poor teacher, which is symbolizing the the
So
progress
they
of like.
fucking made her disappear.
Well,
Right.
they
That doesn't
they
make
the
yeah,
any
essentially
sense.
yeah. It was kind of like they buried Bin Laden at sea because they didn't want people fucking showing up
Okay,
to where his
this is
body was.
Bin
I know
Laden.
it's
Yeah,
totally
you
different
can't. You
philosophy.
can't.
I mean, you
Come
can't,
on,
you
dude.
can't. Yeah,
Come
a
on,
teacher
dude.
I
who
know,
died in
I
a
know.
fucking really.
Come on,
But
dude.
yeah, they apparently didn't want the throngs of people they knew who would show up at wherever it was they buried her at.
It's like
Her and the other astronauts.
It's like fucking
But it might have been because they were so
comparing
smashed up,
fucking
they
some
were all mushed
local
together.
celebrity to like Hitler or some shit.
Well, just have a closed casket.
No, they were so smashed up. They were all like,
yeah, they probably
that's
didn't
partly
have
why
much
they
remains.
cremated them, I think, because like there wasn't anything to show either, and they
I
probably
mean,
couldn't
what's
pick them
terminal
apart.
velocity? What's terminal velocity?
It was like 120 miles an hour, right? 160 miles an hour.
I think it's like 140 something, 147. They hit the ground or hit the water at 147 miles an hour. You know what I mean? They're done.
Yeah, I think it even said 200 something in this article, but
I mean, that for a human body, terminal
for a human
velocity
body, it is. This is
But so that capsule could
heavy
have
metal
been
capsule.
heavier,
Yeah, that's
a
true.
bit more.
All right,
But yeah,
let's move on to the next
What's the next
disaster.
tragedy?
Tacoma Narrows Bridge. Have you guys seen footage of that one?
Yeah, please, Oracle, tell us how
No.
more people died.
the
So
wobbly one.
that was the wobbly one where they didn't account for the
Oh.
fucking wind,
Whoops.
Yeah.
and it was just like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I don't know if anybody died on that. I don't think anybody.
Snake.
No human fatalities, but
No human,
A couple of dogs and a cat.
6
were
dogs
from.
and a cat were taken out.
yeah, that was pretty wild.
Pets are people
The
too,
Mothman
man.
prophecies. That was a fucking bridge collapse too. I think people even died in that one.
Yeah.
The New
Yeah,
Orleans
Oracle's
levees.
running the show, Ashtray.
Hey, motherfuckers!
Well, is it?
Are you talking about Hurricane Katrina?
Yeah,
Oh,
Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans August 29, 2005. So the levees surrounding the city became a
first
point of
off,
scrutiny.
George Bush does not like black people. Okay.
Okay, we
Oh,
know
yeah, I
that.
remember that.
So a report
Michael
from
Myers is just like,
what
I'm
do I
an
do?
awkward
What do I do?
adjacent
What do I
white
do?
guy.
a report from a team that included engineers from the University of California, Berkeley, and the American Society of Civil Engineers identified several types of flaws in the levees soon after the hurricane hit. Well, that's not good to identify those after it hits.
Yeah, right. That's
as-
when it's easy.
As waters rose
There's your
over the
problem
top-
right there, that big
Right.
hole.
Over the tops of the levees, also known as overtopping, they eroded unprotected embankments on the other side, weakening the walls. Engineers also found weak points where different sections of flood protection met. Major breaches also occurred where it appears the levees may have been built on poor foundation soil that was vulnerable on storm surge. So, yeah, they didn't build
When you're
good
protecting
levees.
black neighborhoods, George Bush doesn't care. Okay.
Yes, we know this. That is a given.
He's the Texas oil tycoon. Duh.
St. Francis Dam, 1928. So the St. Francis Dam was completed in 1926 to provide water for the booming population of Los Angeles. Overnight on March 12, 1928, the dam failed, washing out its contents 52 miles to the ocean. The accident
Damn.
officially killed
Murphy.
432 people.
How
But
many?
in 432
432?
officially, but an unknown number of Mexican migrant laborers were also caught in the flood zone.
They didn't
So-
count
so
the
no,
poor
they-
Mexicans.
Right. They only counted the white people. That's fucked up.
Right. Well, it was an act of God, Teddy.
That's true.
to
God
God.
only counts
Well,
the white.
Yeah.
I mean, they only
Get-
count as like a third of a human anyway.
yeah. They're I'm way too high to defend anything. Fuck y'all.
So,
Oh.
although there were aspects of the design and construction that would be questionable today, engineers didn't fully account for the geological features of the dam site. Yeah,
Fucking not accounting.
right.
Word.
We also have
That's pretty big fuck ups, dude. Like
Yeah.
I fuck up at work and it's just like, some sound doesn't get on air and shit. But like these dudes fuck up and hundreds or thousands of people die. That's fucking
die. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Space.
It's some of them like the levees and the dam I could see, but when the one with the hotel, how could you not tell building this shit? How could you not tell that this is not?
It always comes down to money,
I mean,
man. It's always money.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep, usually money, and it's like it's usually engineering. It's an engineering shortcut because they don't want to run over budget, and so they're kind of like guesstimating that this alternate way of doing it from what the original design was will hold because I mean shit, sometimes it's like for me when I make a banner,
that'll hold.
Yeah, when it's like, oh fuck, I had to rip a grommet got put in all fucked up, and sometimes you literally have to get a pliers and pry the bastard out, and it stretches the vinyl, and you sometimes have to touch it up with a marker. It's just like, I think that's passable, boop, give it to them. It's like think of that, but like for a bridge.
Good enough is the American mantra, man. Good enough.
Yeah, that's the saying. Good enough for government work.
Well, good enough wasn't good enough for the Space Shuttle Columbia.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Turns out space flight and rockets is really fucking unsafe.
It's really hard. Yeah.
So
it's no, go ahead.
Columbia launched on its 113th flight on January 16th, 2003. The day after launch, a scheduled review of takeoff footage revealed that foam debris from the external fuel tank had struck the left wing of the shuttle. Similar debris had been seen in previous takeoffs. Repeated requests to capture detailed images of the spacecraft in orbit to assess the extent of the damage were denied. On Flight Day 8, NASA's Mission Control informed the crew of the debris impact and reported there was absolutely no concern for entry with regards to the heat resistance tile paneling on the shuttle wing. Columbia was scheduled to land on February 1st, 2003, after 16 days in orbit. As the shuttle re-entered Earth's atmosphere and passed over California, ground observers saw a bright trail of debris trailing the ship. By the time the space shuttle flew over Texas, communication with the crew was failing. Soon after, Columbia disintegrated mid-flight, killing its 7-person crew.
Yeah. I know our space program is pretty much the equivalent of Wile E. Coyote strapping a big ass Acme rocket to his back. I mean, that's all
pretty
it is.
much.
It's light the fuse and
think of how long of that ride was it where like you start to tell like fucking shit's breaking up below your heat shield before it actually rips the ship apart.
Right.
Oh, what a sick feeling that's got to be.
I don't like contemplating the thoughts of dying people, so I'm not going to try.
Well, we're
not
talking
as
about it on a
sick-
regular basis in this show, so get used to
Not
it,
as
Teddy.
sick of a feeling as driving a Ford Pinto.
Oh. Was that the one where they got rear-ended and they exploded?
So when the Pinto made its debut, the Ford Motor Company knew their new car design wasn't perfect. The fuel tank was easily punctured by nearby bolts, which left the vehicle susceptible to bursting into flames in the event of a rear-end collision. But the Ford Pinto, marketed for the model years 1971 to 1980, was conceived as an inexpensive, high-performance subcompact car, and that vision did not include safety as a selling point. And so a decision was made weighing the cost of $11 in parts per vehicle against the risk and expense of litigation over death and serious injury. The eventual adoption of new safety standards in the 1977 model year forced Ford to alter the design of the Pinto. So they let it ride from 71 to 76.
How many people died as a result?
Doesn't say how many people died as a result of that one.
Yep. Probably because they didn't want to keep records. Or they had kept records, but they wouldn't release them.
Or none of them were white, so they didn't count them.
True.
That's right.
Very true.
Right? Only Asians drive Pintos.
All right.
I just made that up. I don't know what Asians drive.
3 Mile Island. So 3 Mile Island at 4 a.m. on March 28, 1979. a water pump in one of the nuclear power generators at 3 Mile Island in central Pennsylvania malfunctioned.
Can you guys
That's
hear
not
me?
good.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
some of the
27 people were confirmed to die in Pinto
from the Pinto.
deaths.
Oh, really?
Yes. Some estimates are far higher, but 27 confirmed from that reason, from that blowing up.
Okay.
Which doesn't seem like a lot, but in the perspective of them knowing about it ahead of time, like that's crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So some of the fail safes on 3 Mile Island worked as intended. So some, for example, fail safe stopped the fission process in the reactor in response to an overheating steam generator, but workers forgot to open the valve for their emergency water pump after testing it just days earlier. As a result, there was no water flowing to the steam generator. So water creates steam for a turbine and cools parts of the generator. Eventually, the entire system overheated, causing a partial meltdown. The accident exposed the public to some radiation, about 3 to 6 months worth of normal background radiation dose in the region, according to a report from Dickinson College. But during the tense 10 days until the situation was brought under control, public attention centered on fears of a more dramatic event such as an explosion in the reactor. I'm surprised. I thought that was actually worse than that. You know, because you hear about all this. Yeah, all this shit with Chernobyl, you know.
Oh yeah, that was the one that's fucked.
Right.
Because even when they had to work on that, they could only work in like 5-minute shifts, you know, and then have to run back behind the lead wall.
Yeah, I mean,
how do you fucking get anything done?
Pretty much everybody that was involved with Chernobyl died, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them did.
Yeah, that was pretty fucked. All right, so that's it for our engineering disasters. So, yeah. Make sure your fucking engineers aren't coming in all hungover and shit. And fucking your shit up.
It'll hold.
On a scale of 1 to pretty fucked.
Has anybody had a moment in their life where they felt like, okay, this isn't safe, or
something doesn't feel safe structurally?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Not because it wasn't, but have you ever gone to the house on the rock and you've gone to the infinity room,
where it like juts out over the
juts out over the fucking top of the like canyon. Off this cliff, like canyon. Yeah, that's creepy as fuck.
And because you could feel it sway a little bit. It's kind of like a long pointy hallway juts out into a cavern.
Any other ones?
So I had one on it was a Delta flight. It was it was me and my wife's first Europe trip, right? Las Vegas. We as you're getting on the plane to go over to England, as we're going over, you could see that there was some guys down there with drills putting like a piece about this pig together with screws, and 2 other guys duct taping the ends.
What?
And me and my wife were like, should we ready to fly over the fucking ocean? I'm like, I'd never flown over the ocean before. I'm like, I don't fucking, should we be seeing what they're doing? And they put it on the bottom of the plane, and we're just sitting there watching and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? We made it safely, of course, but it was one of my, like, every fucking turbulence, like, holy shit.
How small? How many seats was that plane?
It was a huge fucking. It was like the plane off of fucking Die Hard. Like most of the planes I take have the 2 sides. This one had the seats in the middle and the shit on the side. It was a huge fucking mess, bro. It was. I mean, I'm like, this shit's gonna fly for like 18 hours.
Duct tape will hold anything, man.
Yeah. Well, I'll never fly Spirit again, because one time I was flying out of Boston, and we get on the plane, and all of a sudden, like, out of the cabin, it keeps on playing this message, and it's like, retard.
Oh, I remember this story.
Oh, you told me that story.
Yeah, so we're like sitting there for like 45 minutes, and they can't figure it out. They're like trying to figure shit out. They take us off the plane. We're waiting for like an hour and a half, and then they're like, oh, all right, it's fixed. get on. Somebody must have just hit a button to make it stop saying that. And is like, did you really fix it? Did you know what was wrong with it?
Right.
So, yeah.
Hey, look, for $18 plane tickets, you get what you pay for.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'll pay a little bit more. Because I don't trust that fucking janky ass shit. All right, we're moving on to the What's Sexy portion of the show. This is where we tell you what's sexy in this world. And we're starting off with me with DLSS 2.0. So DLSS is something that you get with the NVIDIA RTX cards. That's the latest generation of graphics cards from NVIDIA. And it's deep learning super sampling. And basically what it does is it takes games and it renders them at a lower resolution. So let's say you were trying to do 4K or whatever. It would render it at 1080, and then it would use AI to actually generate the 4K image. So and
it's faster.
It's way faster. Faster
than the graphics card having to
do everything,
to do the whole thing from scratch, basically.
Yeah, it's way faster.
That's basically like a compression, like some sort of audio compression software to uncompress it, like so your device uncompresses like MP3s.
Or
to play them,
or almost like an adaptive, like when you enlarge a picture in Photoshop, like
right,
it kind of guesstimates the pixels in between.
Yeah. So I've got a laptop with an RTX card in it, a 3070 mobile card in it.
Ooh, aren't you cool?
And I got to tell you, man, I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 graphics cranked because of there's no way I could do this without the DLSS. Before the DLSS integration, even the best graphics cards, the best PCs out there struggled to run Red Dead Redemption 2 at like high graphics settings because it's really, really, really fucking nice. With the DLSS, I'm running this on my fucking laptop while I'm sitting in a camper, and it's like the best graphics I've ever seen in any fucking game. Like, it is phenomenal, the gains, the performance gains that you get with this. So I'm really interested to see what this means for VR. And they are integrated. They have integrated it in a few VR games, but this is going to be the difference maker when it comes to having like really realistic looking graphics in VR to be able to do that. So, and apparently it's pretty easy to integrate this in their games. And yeah, I mean, I can definitely attest. It's taken this. It's a stout laptop that I'm using, but it's taken it and it's basically performing like a fucking desktop PC would, which is really impressive with these games. So DLSS. Nerdy. All right, next we have Mistic with Frog Leap.
Okay, so Frog Leap is the name of this band. It's basically a Norwegian YouTube star. He does like covers of fucking everything. Like he's covered Adele, Pink, like fucking Britney Spears, Eminem. But the one that Oracle is playing right now is you have to listen to it on the stream, but it's X Gonna Give It To You by DMX, covered in like heavy metal style. And it's pretty cool.
Oh, it'd be cooler if we could hear it.
Fucking
you gotta listen to it on the stream.
Buddy.
Oh. Can't hear this shit on him. There we go. He looks like a nerd.
He is. Nerdy Norwegian.
It's got good production value, though.
Yeah, it does.
Awesome. Moving on.
You don't like it, Teddy?
Well, I'm not listening to it.
Come on, really?
You can't have dead air. Everybody listening to
DMX. Yeah, I know, but it's anyway. Hey, fast forward.
It's not dead air, Teddy. Teddy doesn't have a stream.
Where am I fast forwarding to?
I don't know. There's a heavy metal part at the end of breakdown.
All right, I'm gonna go to 340.
Right there. Sure.
This is the worst music video review ever.
I know, right?
That's surprising. Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting that breakdown.
Yeah, this dude's anyway. He's just talented as fuck.
What's his name again?
Covering shit that his name is. I don't even know what his real name is. Just type in Frog Leap.
Legs or something.
Frog Leap, Leap.
Frog Legs.
A lot of different covers. A lot of cool covers. Check it out. Covers Rage Against the Machine.
Old Frog Legs.
All right. Next up,
Ashtray. Don't be dumb.
We've got Streets of Rage 4 DLC. Teddy.
The Streets of Rage 4 remake. I didn't load up the video.
Oh, you fucking lazy bastard.
You know what? Feel free to put the Oracle.
Fine. Pull up a goddamn video.
Just talk about it. He ain't looking shit up.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Nope. Yeah, I switched it at the last minute. It was gonna be Bill Cosby, but after reading how he got out, I was like, no, that's not cool. So I switched it to something else. The DLC actually has a release date now. It's July 15th. It's called Dr. X's Nightmare. Dr. X's Nightmare. We're getting new characters. We're getting Shiva, who's the one I'm really excited about. There's gonna be a survival mode. It's gonna be real cool. The game itself, if you like
what you're saying.
I'm saying words.
Like I know what the words are. I just don't get.
Awesome. Cool. So if you're into that kind of side scroller 2D beat 'em up game like I am, check it out. It's gonna be awesome.
PlayStation only? Or is that
no, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch.
Oh, nice.
Isn't Streets of Rage? That's a Game Pass game, isn't it?
I believe so. Yes, and it is multiplayer.
Is this a video game?
Yes.
I'm just fucking with you. I know. So it is
tell
on
us how
Game
cool
Pass.
it is.
I might play it if it's on Game Pass.
And it is. Yeah, and it is. It's multiplayer. So yeah.
Isn't that adorable?
I'm not special.
All right. Next up, we've got Ashtray with anti-mega trolls on Reddit.
Oh, another Reddit bitch. Got it. Love it.
There's this Reddit group. The Atlantic has an article about this Reddit group. I think it's called Parlor Tricks, which is a Parlor Trick. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Which they basically started right around 2020, and it was basically people on Reddit they kind of created this what do they call those, like role-playing threads where everybody's kind of playing a role, but what they do is they go to Parler and other social media sites where all the Trumpers who've been banned from Facebook, and like once Facebook finally and YouTube finally like realized the QAnon thing was a real like fucking thought virus spreading around and actually started taking it serious, they kind of all got booted. And so it actually became easier for these Reddit trolls to go in, and they like would basically pretend to be kind of like fucking patriots, America, fuck yeah, and try, either goad or mislead. Sometimes it would be like they would make memes that were, deliberately deceptive. And like for one, it was they made this meme. What the hell was it? It was like, so and so, the politician, knows what they did to Trump, and then like all these MAGA people were like, yeah, they do, but it never said, and there was no clear like what this certain politician did to Trump, like that he voted a wrong way or something. But this meme, just because other like prominent MAGA people started sharing it.
MAGA?
MAGA.
MAGA hats.
What's going on?
Make America great again.
How drunk are you?
MAGA.
I am.
MAGA.
I like to call them MAGAs. MAGA.
So basically, it's trolls trolling trolls.
Yeah.
It is.
It's trolls trolling idiots.
Trolls trolling the trolls. But no, you're right. It is trolls trolling the trolls. But and then even though the moderators, the author interviews, has said like there are times where it becomes surreal because you go in there and sometimes you're not sure if the person you're fucking with is also
fucking with you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fucking with you because he's doing the same thing you are.
Yeah.
Where like you're going in there and just like fucking pushing some of the weirdest.
Did we just become best
ideas.
friends?
Yeah, it's just like, did we even? And then it's kind of like, did we get anything done, or are we just like fucking around?
Right.
Just one big circle jerk is all.
Yeah, like exactly. But they did get some fucking prominent guy. It was a lawyer. The Trump loyalist Lynn Wood tweeted an elaborate infographic stating his views about the upcoming U.S. Senate runoff election in Georgia. The final tally would be corrupted by Dominion voting machines, it said, and the only way to expose the fraud would be to boycott the election. That would break the algorithm by producing a result in which the GOP candidates would receive fewer than 0 votes. And then the Supreme Court would have no choice but to overturn the presidential election, while someone would have no choice but to arrest Georgia Governor Brian Kemp as well as Republican Senator Kelly Loeffler. So
they're just telling people not to vote.
Well, it was that not to vote thing. The thing is, though, this lawyer, Lynn Wood, who was like a Trump lawyer and loyalist, took this infographic and tweeted it. And it's like, this is what we got to do. Like, we'll prove that it's... and
it's like when these idiots tweet out the fucking Onion.
And it made fucking news stories. Because, these guys are fucking idiots. That was started by the Parlor Tricks people.
Boom. All right.
Read the article and the links. Check it out. Tell Teddy to get a life.
Moving on to fuck what you think.
What the fuck did I do? What the fuck did I do, dog? Really?
You did nothing, Teddy. I was just
start with me. Like eBay cocksucker. So fucking eBay.
The worst kind of cocksuckers
is just a den of
shipping.
Fucking vipers. And if you're trying to sell something, it is ridiculous how many people try to scam you when you're trying to sell shit.
Oh, yeah.
So I was selling my old laptop because I was getting this new one. I wanted to get the new RTX card. So I wanted to sell this one while I could still get a decent price for it. And things are going fine. People are making bids and whatnot. And then I started getting messages from this guy. And I mean, you will always get messages with people saying like, hey, I'll give you X amount of cash. I'll send it to you next day air, blah, blah, blah. Basically,
what let you sleep with my wife.
Yeah. Basically, what they're trying to do is they want you to ship and they're going to send you a fake invoice. They want you to do it off of eBay because you don't have any of the protections that come with being on eBay and it can't be tracked. So if they get you to do it off of that, then you're fucked. Well, anyway, I wasn't biting on any of that stuff. So I'm just kind of like, no, dude, whoever wins the fucking auction is going to get it. And
yeah, that's how it works.
Exactly. It's eBay. That's how it fucking works.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And so the guy keeps on contacting me or whatever. I'm like, whatever, fine, just fuck off. And he gives me this offer. He's like, well, I'll give you this amount of money. It was like $600. And you know, we could just stop the auction now. And I'm like, no, it's gonna finish the auction. And he's like, oh, well, are you serious? That's what you're gonna do? Yeah,
what was the auction at this time? Do you know?
The auction. The bid was probably close to that, if not a little bit higher than the $600. So it was not a good offer. It's not like he was giving me a great offer. I'd be fucking retard to stop the auction.
Right.
And
say fucking hit the buy it now button, jerk off.
And he's like, oh, well, fine. So what this asshole did is
I love doing an auction. Just hit the buy it now.
What do you do?
He made sure he beat out the guy that was going against him in the auction by like 50 cents. And then he immediately canceled his fucking buy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he basically torpedoed my entire auction that took 7 days. And I had to do another auction. So right now I'm doing another auction. And it's like, this fucking asshole, this fucking piece of shit, because I did not buy it.
Can you block that?
Can you block him?
You can block that dude. And, you know, I put in a complaint and whatnot. But, man, I mean, it fucking sucks.
That's some pussy ass.
Right, that's some pussy ass shit.
And you know he bragged to his friends about it, man.
Right.
Too bad you couldn't just, like, go to the runner-up.
Well, so you could do a second chance auction, which I did do, but basically that's 24 hours, and if somebody wants to do it, they can do it, or they can say, hey, I'm going to wait to see if you're going to relist it, which I did. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work out. That guy's a fucking piece of shit. eBay is crazy. When you're selling computers and electronics, eBay is fucking insane. You have to be like, don't take any bullshit. Don't fall for any fucking shit, because there are so many scammers out there. It's crazy.
Yeah, I guess it's been a while since I've sold shit on eBay.
It's so much worse than it used to be. It's like way worse. All right, Mistic, bad friends.
All right, so I'm going to tell a story. Ashtray, you can't interrupt. Just let me finish the whole goddamn story.
Just shut the fuck up.
It's going to take a little while.
I'll just make sound effects.
No, nothing. Zip it.
So I jump into a party, I don't know, a week ago, something like that.
Okay, whatever. The party was June 25th.
Shut up.
Okay.
Shut up. I'm going to tell the story.
Because it was the morning of my birthday. It was a big present.
I'm in there with Teddy, and like this other guy, James, and Oracle jumps in, and we're all fucking shooting the shit. And there's this other dude in there. His name's DNA Sniper, right? All right, whatever. This guy's kind of annoying, but whatever. So Teddy texts us, and it was in you probably read it, Ashtray, but it was like this. He's like, this dude is retarded. Like, and then he goes, do with that what you will. So
right, yes, I was trying to warn you. In
my fucked up head, I'm like, he's like, fucking with me. This dude ain't retarded. Because this guy was like fucking with Teddy. Little context, this guy was like messing with Teddy about some dream that Teddy had, right? So like I thought like this was Teddy's way of fucking getting back. So I fucking just flat out went, what kind of retard are you? He's like, I'm like, because if you're really like retarded or something, I don't want to make fun of you, you know? And like, so it went on like this for a while. And like, I still didn't know he was a retard. So he was like, yeah, it would suck if I lost like the use of my left hand. And I'm like, why, you don't have a right hand? He's like, no, that's the one that's all fucked up because I got cerebral palsy. I'm like, oh shit, you're really retarded? Like, I felt so bad. For like 36 hours, I felt bad afterwards.
You did not.
Yeah,
did you really feel that?
You did not. You're soulless.
Really we played a game of baseball like the night after our birthday and shit, and he was still like, fuck you, Teddy. I can't believe you fucking let me ask that guy what kind of tard he was.
That shit was so fucking
because we were in a party with James. Me, him, and James were in there, and they just kept giving me shit. How do with it what you will, Teddy. What is it? That's how I put do with that what you will, so you didn't fucking act like an asshole to him.
Well, that fucking backfired.
It did backfire. It gets annoying sometimes. So we
what kind of retard are you?
So yeah.
No, he's a cool dude, and I feel bad.
I'm the happy-go-lucky kind.
Yeah, it was.
Anyway.
He took it with in stride. It was actually pretty.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Next up, we have Ashtray, the witness stories from the condo collapse.
Yeah, some of these
God damn it.
stories. You see the
don't break my heart, man.
There was a video. Someone literally something like 2 minutes before the collapse shot this like TikTok video, like walking on the side of the street, and you could see the underground garage had water like running through from cracks in the ceiling. This one woman woke up. She said she wasn't sure why, but she had like put her credit cards and like all her important shit in her purse like that night. Like she had she had to get up early for something, so she kind of like got extra ready, and then she woke up like really too extra early, and all of a sudden she sees this crack in the ceiling, and it's like literally like in the fucking movies, like
oh fuck,
growing, and she's just like, oh shit. So she ran out into the hallway, and there's like no one out there. She's like, there was no commotion, but she just had this panic, like get out, and she luckily like ran to the far fire escape to that side of the building that didn't fall down. And then there was another dude who wasn't at home, but his wife was, and she called because she saw that the pool collapsed, and that must have caved in first before the structure came down. And so he's on the phone with his wife while the whole thing came down.
That's fucking dude. Come on.
I'm just gonna be really. Like, I don't want to hear.
And then
like,
there's
why?
Well, why are you telling me?
another family that.
Movie,
I mean, I get it.
Because these real things happen, and it's fucking life. So toughen up.
God damn it.
I gotta deal with this.
There's
shit
another
too,
family.
man.
That, he works for the Evil Fox Network.
Has so they have an elderly couple, or their grandparents live there. They're like in their 80s. But since the collapse, they have gotten 16 phone calls from their landline, and it's just like a staticky noise.
Oh, really? Oh my god.
No voices, but this is like they've got them recorded. They can't hear anything, but like maybe the fucking because they're old people, so of course they got a landline, and like maybe the program number is like covered with rubble or something, and it keeps dialing. But like that's fucked,
Dude.
No, what's fucked is you telling me about it.
Hey, I'm just preparing you for life, Teddy.
Oh man.
And that's fucking horrible. Whole thing's fucking
That's
horrible.
why it's a fuck what you think and not what's sexy.
All right.
No shit, huh?
Next up, we have Teddy with Gwen Berry Crackheads.
Okay, so Gwen Berry is the shot putter. She came in third for the Olympic trials, and she's the one who turned away from the flag during the national anthem. When asked why she did that, she said she feels like the national anthem is not for Black people. For those who don't know, the national anthem was written during the War of 1812 in response to some bombardment of some fort that our flag survived. I don't know what the fort is because I don't
Fort
give a fuck.
Sumter.
It wasn't written by like a French dude or something.
It was written by Francis Scott Key, who was a slave owner. The third stanza of the reason she cited the stanza here, the third stanza that says their blood has washed out their foul footsteps, pollution, no refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. And that stanza referring to when the British attacked in the War of 1812, they offered slaves their freedom if they left and sided with the British, and if the British won, but the British didn't win. So that was but because of that, just like anytime anything like this happens, you get people saying that she doesn't love this country, and things like that, and she shouldn't be able to participate in the Olympics and represent America. But the thing is, you can't go to the Olympics unless you represent the country.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like in order to go to the Olympics,
you're Russians. You get to go
true.
under this anonymous
Right.
We have no country, but we still want to compete.
I mean, yeah. So it's just it's just people like she doesn't love this country. She's not saying she doesn't love the country. She doesn't love some things about the country. That's all. But it's like it's all or.
I didn't see it, but I saw something. She said she was set up or something. What's that?
So here's the deal. I don't agree with people that are bashing this woman because she could do what she wants. But yeah. I feel that if there's any place in the world where you shouldn't turn away from the flag, it's when you're representing that flag. Like in a football game, I get it. It doesn't need to be there. What the fuck are we doing? It's stupid. Yeah. But she is representing the U.S. Like I get that she wants to protest.
Well, it wasn't at the Olympics. It was fucking here in the United States.
Well, it was for the Olympics trial, though, right?
Right.
Is she gonna do it if she goes to the Olympics? I'm not condoning what these people are saying, but I get that from these idiots' perspective that only look at one thing. They're going to be like, well, she's representing the USA. You know what I mean? And that's to them, that's disrespectful. Okay. Like, I don't get it when it's Kaepernick at a football game. Who gives a fuck about that shit? Like, why are you mad about that?
Right.
America.
But I kind of get the idiot outrage.
That's why I'm mad. America.
Yeah. Just like, I mean, I get it. It's with the Olympic.
We should watch the video of it.
I think that she has definitely a point to do it in the U.S. for the trials.
Right.
I do think that I don't think that's fucked if she does it in Tokyo.
Right. I don't think she's gonna do it in Tokyo. I think she did it in the United States for just because it was the United States.
That's fine.
Now, if she does it in Tokyo, I could see it being a fucked up thing. Right. But I mean, it's so.
What's her name again? Gwen Berry.
Gwen Berry. She came in third.
Boom.
Anyway.
Boom, boom. All right. That's fucking it. In all seriousness.
Here's the headline. Conservatives cancel Gwen Berry.
Go fuck yourself.
Fox ran a whole little thing where they had a North Korean defector who said she would have been executed had she done that in North Korea.
Well, no shit.
And then Fox was all over it. They were all over it, dog. They were all over it, dog.
No, that'd be like, hey, we went down to downtown New York and got Tyrone here, and Tyrone says that he'd probably get shot in the face if he stole someone's crack. Is that right, Tyrone? Yeah, we get it. That's what would happen. What the fuck are you doing comparing that to this? That makes no sense.
Go fuck yourself, mosquitoes. That's our show. Mosquitoes. We're going to be here every Wednesday or Thursday night, 10 p.m. Central. Make sure you join the conversation at theredeyereport.com or facebook.com/redeyereport. You can twiddle us at redeye_report. Like us, share us, or fuck us. We're down for whatever. I'm Oracle.
This is Ashtray.
I'm Teddy.
Ha I'm Mistic.
Fucking Monster Mash Mistic.
To the Monster Mash.
Monster Mash. Mistic was the Graveyard Smash.